Welcome back to Taronga TV. I'm with Dean. He's a reptile and amphibian keeper here at Taronga, and we are with one of my favourite animals on the planet. When I was a kid growing up, this lizard was one of my top 10 animals. All I wanted to do was see one in real life, and I came to Taronga and I saw this animal. It is a Gila Monster. Dean, please tell us about this great creature.
Yeah, no worries, Hayden. So Gila Monsters, they were thought of to be one of the only two venomous lizards in the world. Recently it's been found that that's not true, but for a long time they were thought to be the two venomous lizards in the world. They're adapted to an arid environment, and so they've got different specialisations that help them live in that environment. And they're found in southwestern United States and northern Mexico.
They are just beautiful, mate. Now, when you say venomous lizard, I think this is really important to learn, folks, and I've made the mistake when I've spoken about it in the past as well. Sometimes you hear people say a poisonous snake. Well, poison and venom are two different things, aren't they, Dean? Could you explain to everyone what the difference is?
Okay, so we'll start off with poisonous. So poisonous is something that affects you if you eat it or it absorbs through the skin. Like if you eat a poisonous fish, like a toadfish or something like that, there's frogs called poison dart frogs that you ingest the poison. Whereas a venomous animal, it injects the venom into your body somehow. So either a venomous snake, for example, or a Gila monster, it bites, it can inject the venom into your blood system, or something like a wasp that stings you with a sting on its abdomen.
Right. So that's a really great thing to learn about the difference between poison and venom. These guys here, there's two females in here, correct?
Yeah, yep, both girls.
And can you tell us a little bit about what their behaviour would be like in the wild?
So in the wild, they're quite unusual. I guess a lot of it is because it's so hot where they live for a lot of the year, but they spend probably about 90% of their time under the ground. So you don't
90%?
see them. Yeah, 90%.
Wow, I never knew that.
So they live in a lot of other animal burrows, things like desert tortoise burrows, rabbit burrows. In southwestern United States, there are these rats called pack rats, and they often live in these pack rat nests.
So utilise another animal's burrow.
Yeah. And their diet is pretty specialised as well. They mostly prey on vertebrate animals that live in nests, so things like baby birds and the eggs, ground nesting birds, things like the pack rats that I mentioned before that they nest in burrows and they eat the young of the pack rats and even young rabbits.
Yeah, right. Incredible. Now, in this arid environment, a lot of animals have adaptations with water because water is so scarce. What would these guys do for water?
Well, actually, it's been said that they actually binge drink, so they don't come across water very often at all. But when they do, they'll drink a lot of it. Now, it's been shown that they can drink up to 20% of their body weight. So someone like me, that's probably around 18 litres of water for someone my size. So
wow.
Yeah.
So they just go for it
Yep.
and then get as much as they can when they can.
Yeah.
They are truly spectacular, absolutely beautiful. That gorgeous orange pattern. That was the thing that got me when I was a kid. I just could not believe that this lizard looked like that. Can you just talk to us a little bit about those beautiful raised scales on the skin?
So that's actually where they get their name from. So the genus is Heloderma, and helo means stud in Latin, and dermis means skin. So that's actually where they get their name from.
Oh.
So in each little individual bead-like scale, there's what's called an osteoderm, which is like a little bone in the middle of their skin. And I guess that acts as a defence for either other predators, or males will combat each other during the breeding season when a mate is nearby, a female nearby, and they'll bite each other. So it could be armour to protect them for either of them two reasons.
Wow. So what animals would prey on these?
I'd imagine like raptors, coyotes. That's probably the extent of it in their natural environment. Maybe young ones, like some snake species, would eat them as well.
They are truly spectacular, they really are. And we've got two females in here. What would you feed them here at Taronga?
Rodents, so adult or mice mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what they get most of the time.
Yeah.
How many times a week?
Once a week, if that. So they don't need much to survive on at all. So they'll go through a cooling period over the winter months where they don't eat at all. In the wild, it's been proven on average they survive on I think it's around 3,500 kilojoules a year.
Wow.
Which is probably like one takeaway hamburger for us a year or something, and that's all they need to survive on.
Well, they are truly spectacular, folks. And this is the sort of things, these tiny little wonderful snippets of information from our keepers here at Taronga and Taronga Western Plains Zoo that we're getting on Taronga TV. Dean, thank you so much for your time, mate. I've never been this close to a Gila Monster. My favourite lizard in the world, folks. You never know what's around the next corner. We'll see you next time on Taronga TV. Thanks, Dean.
Thanks, Hayden.